the missionary doctor who was ambushed and shot in a tragic incident during a short-term mission trip to Haiti last week. Thankfully, that doctor survived his 3 gunshot wounds, at least 2 of which should have been fatal. And even more miraculously, he was only 1 out of 6 missionaries in that convoy who was hit by a barrage of gunfire. And I also got to talk to the man who was driving the vehicle the doctor was riding in, a guy named Drew Passler. Drew agreed to come on the show and talk about it. So Drew, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, so myself and 6 other missionaries from South Florida, we were going to the northwest of Haiti just like we've done on our previous trips. We were transporting about $20,000 worth of computer equipment that we had donated from some benefactors at Microsoft to help build out a state-of-the-art computer lab in the Northwest in this school that we've constructed over the past 2 years, and hoping to change the entire Northwest. The only thing different with this trip is on our trip, about 30 to 40 minutes north of St. Mark, we encountered what seemed to be a typical roadblock, which we have in the past. Typically, they'll ask for money or, medication for their kids, stuff like that. The difference is that there was a fire burning in the road here. And as the vehicle in front of us, a Toyota Land Cruiser, we were following in a Toyota Hilux pickup truck. I saw as they approached, there was about 100 people that started pouring in from the sides of the roads and swarming this vehicle, and it was fully engulfed within seconds. So we stopped our truck at that point to assess the situation. And that's when I saw an individual come around the side of their vehicle with a long rifle. At that point, we decided that we didn't know what the situation was, and regardless, we needed to get out of there. I started to reverse the vehicle, and in the process of going in reverse, they started to fire shots at our vehicle. At first, it was just 1, and then it was 2 people, and I could hear the shots hitting the bumper, the front of the vehicle, and the hood. When I was about 300 yards away from the vehicle, I decided to try to make a K-turn to get the vehicle around and at least have the back of the truck that was loaded behind us to protect us so we could try to get away. In the process of turning around the vehicle, they shot out the rear tire of the vehicle. And with a full load damage to the engine, we were only able to go about 5 or 6 miles an hour. So we weren't moving fast, but we were gaining some distance between them. But what we didn't realize was that there were people coming up behind us, not only on foot, but also there was 2 Haitian men on a motorcycle, the passenger carrying a machine gun, and he pulled up along the driver's side of the vehicle and opened fire. And that's when I heard the window behind my head blow out and continued to hear a barrage of shots. It was seconds after that that I heard Doug from behind me say, "I'm dying, I've been hit." I looked back only to see him covered in blood. So, not knowing what else to do at this point, and knowing that we could not run these guys with a machine gun, I stopped the vehicle, hoping that maybe they would take mercy on us and allow us to tend to our friend. I got out of the vehicle, guns were pointed at me, and I just prayed and just said thank you. Thinking this was my last few moments on earth and that, I was hoping that God would show some mercy on me. They started to loot us at that point. They took my cell phone, my sunglasses, they took my backpack from the truck and started looking to see what was in our cargo. They started looting our other members of our team. And I watched one of the members from the Haitian gang stick a rifle into the back window of the truck and put it to Doug's head, attempting to, for lack of better words, finish him off, seeing that he was sitting in the seat suffering, covered in his own blood. At that point, I didn't really know what was going to happen. And it wasn't short after that our other members of our truck had come around the front and were trying to talk to him and tell them that, our friend's dying, we need to get to a hospital, we're there to help the kids. And within seconds, just this man appeared out of nowhere on a motorcycle and positioned himself between me and the gunman on a motorcycle. And he stopped there and he raised his left hand and put his right hand on my right arm. And, and he looked at me and he just said, "It's okay. It's going to be okay." And he said something in 2 or 3 words in Creole, and these men just stopped what they were doing. And it was really bizarre because the situation just de-escalated extremely quickly, and it allowed us the time to get to our friend and tend to him to get him into our other vehicle. By the time I made it to the back seat of the truck, in a couple seconds, I turned around to say thank you to the man on the motorcycle, and he was nowhere to be found. That's when I could see our other truck approaching us, and I knew that we didn't have much time. We needed to get him into that vehicle and get out of that situation as fast as possible. Fred from our truck decided to stay with the broken down truck, and one of the Haitian workers we had with us to repair the tire, and at least ensure that the goods in our truck stayed safe, knowing that the gunmen were gone at that moment. And we piled into the Toyota Land Cruiser to rush Doug to the closest hospital in St. Mark, which was 30 to 40 minutes away. Shortly, on the route there, we worked to try to call the U.S. Embassy to get transport to Port-au-Prince and get out of the country, or at least get Doug medevaced. But en route, Doug actually asked me to record his last words to his family, not thinking he was going to make it.
Honey, I just want you to know I love you, and I love you, Michael. Michael, I want you to be a pilot. Don't ever give up that dream. Live for the Lord. Honey, I love you. I love you both.
So it was an unbelievably emotional, roller coaster of feelings and emotions this entire time. Getting to the hospital, it was great because we knew we can get him into some better care, but it wasn't much of a hospital compared to what we're used to here in the States. And Doug was suffering, and he was in quite a bit of pain, so it was quite the ordeal. Especially for a trip of 6 people trying to just help some Haitian children and try to change the Northwest.
Yeah, day one in Haiti. Do you've talked with the other guys that were there. Do you have any sense of what this was about? Were they just robbers, or was it a gang, or what was it?
So from my understanding, in the following 2 days that we spent in Haiti and the process trying to get out of there, what we understand is that this was a gang. It wasn't a political uprising, which has happened in the past. And it was a gang that's been pushed out of Port-au-Prince, and the gang had relocated to the gang leader's hometown, which was this city north of St. Mark. They've actually continued to set up roadblocks in that area, and I've heard reports of 4 other individuals have been shot and killed by these individuals since our last trip. So it's actually considered a level 4 area. They're saying they don't want any travel into there, but this is a gang. The police have tried to actually mitigate the situation, only to have lost 2 of their own in a firefight the evening actually following our event. And I don't know that they've gone back yet, but it is an ongoing issue that they're trying to deal with, and it is causing quite a bit of problems in that region.
What was your first conversation with your family like?
My first conversation with my family was honestly probably the most difficult, to try to explain to my mom that I'm okay and not to worry, which is obviously not the thing you're going to try to tell your mother after you've just been shot at. But I told her that my life's in God's hands now, and He's taking care of me so far. So I just need you to trust too, and just have some prayers and pray for our safe return, and to pray for Doug and her and my rest of my family and our local hometown church. They did just that, and I think that's big part of how we all made it back home safe.
Amazing.